safely evacuate during an emergency. We'll also look at emergency breathing equipment that could save your life. Ships are designed to have 2 entrances and exits from most areas. All crew must be aware of escape routes available to them from within the vessel. There are usually 2 types of escape routes: primary and secondary. The primary escape route is usually the quickest and easiest way to the assembly or muster station. The secondary escape route is the exit route for use when the primary route is unusable. Let's take a look at 2 of our exits on each of these decks: the bridge, galley, and main engine room. Remember these locations as they are your escape routes in the event of an emergency. While we are reviewing exits, let's also take a look at the accommodation areas and lower engine rooms which use escape trunks for exiting, as seen in the examples. Signage is used throughout the living areas of the ship to guide and direct crew members in emergencies. These signs are green, phosphorescent, or reflective, and most often located down low, where a crew member would be crawling to stay below smoke in the event of a fire. An item of emergency equipment to assist you in escaping from a fire emergency is an Emergency Escape Breathing Device, EEBD. The EEBD is an important life-saving device which is used for escaping an area with hazardous conditions such as a fire, smoke, poisonous gas, or oxygen-deficient atmosphere. The EEBD contains compressed air or oxygen sufficient for a period of 10 to 15 minutes, depending on the model. The amount of time it can safely be used for is indicated on the unit. Never use an EEBD for firefighting or rescue. All cargo ships must carry at least 2 EEBDs on each accommodation deck, as well as many other places that are easily accessible. EEBDs must be located in a high visibility area of machinery spaces, engine control room, workshop, and near escape routes. You can find brief instructions for operation in the form of diagrams or pictures on the device. Congratulations! You have completed the lesson and are ready to move on with your training. In Lesson 3.2, we take a look at the ship's station bill, also called a muster list, and bunk cards. Emergency drills and training have the objective of preparing a trained and organized response to situations of great difficulty which may unexpectedly threaten loss of life at sea. It is important that drills should be carried out realistically, approaching as closely as possible to emergency conditions. Drills and training should stress and include emergency procedures, emergency personnel duties, equipment tests, and emergency-related regulations. One of your first duties when joining the ship is to familiarize yourself with your personal life-saving equipment, duties listed on the station bill, and the emergency instructions posted in your cabin. One of the first things you will see is the station bill. It is displayed in conspicuous places throughout the ship, including the bridge, engine room, crew accommodation spaces, and the crew information bulletin board outside of the mess deck. It will provide you with a lot of great information describing the emergency duties assigned to you and your fellow crew members. On the station bill, crew members can find information on the following activities and assignments: closing of watertight doors, fire doors, valves, scuppers, side scuttles, skylights, portholes, and other similar openings in the ship; equipping the survival craft; preparation and launching of survival crafts; manning of fire teams; warning personnel, making sure they are properly dressed and have put on their PFD immersion suits properly; custody and use of communication and equipment; specially assigned duties in the use of firefighting equipment and installation; and special duties assigned in respect of a man overboard emergency. Next, we see the billet or bunk cards, which are 4x6 index cards located near each bunk that show individual billet numbers and a more detailed emergency responsibility list. Muster stations are located on billet cards and show where crew members must report to in the event of an emergency at sea or during a muster drill. Every crew member is assigned a muster station on their billet card. Muster stations for abandoning ship are the assigned lifeboat stations. Assigned duties for preparing and lowering the lifeboats and life rafts are listed on the station bill and individual bunk cards. So be sure to read over your station bill and bunk card so you can be prepared to assume your emergency responsibilities aboard the ship.